Hey guys, this is Anthony Monda helping you ace your fitness, and today's episode 9 of the Watch Him Transform series. Alright, so before we get into how much weight Kyle lost this week, we want to let you guys know that we want to do a Q&A for the next episode. So I want you guys to be able to ask me questions from like a coach's perspective on, how we've been handling everything, handling the good and the bad. And I also want you guys to ask Kyle questions on like how he's made it look so easy, like all the questions you guys have for like how he's done so good in this weight loss journey. So make sure you drop it down below because we want to do a Q&A for the next video. All right, my man, tell people what they want to know.
All right, so before I tell you guys, how much I lost, I just want to thank everyone that has supported me through this, supported Anthony's channel. Like, it truly means a lot. And so I've lost like 5.5 pounds this week. I was 335 point whatever, some change last week. And this morning I was like 330.2. So altogether I've lost 40 pounds.
40, man.
It's crazy.
That's nuts to me. I know we try not to get too ahead of ourselves, but 40, man, I mean, that's nuts. And like I told him before we started this, like I haven't changed one thing in his diet and his exercise since we started. So he's basically able to lose 40 pounds right off from the jump, and he's just doing one hell of a job. I couldn't be more proud. And I want him to explain to you guys like how it's affected him all throughout his life, like besides like the gym, besides the weight loss, stuff like that, because I think that's the most important.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it's had a better, more positive effect on my life. Like, I feel myself like, I'm, being over, I mean, I still am overweight, but, being to where I was before, I was, kind of depressed all the time. There was some good times that I had, but most of the times I was like down in the dumps. But like doing this and losing the weight, like it's just like it's brought my confidence like up, that's for sure.
It literally, like, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like I've seen a change in him ever since we started. Like way more positive outlook on life, like way more energy, way more like, hey man, I'm gonna go do this. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna get it done. And I think that's a huge thing. A lot of people do the whole exercise thing for the physical results, which is awesome, but it translates to basically everything else in life, which is why I've taken such pride in this lifestyle, because I think it's helped me in every other. It's enhanced my entire life, and I think Kyle's starting to reap the benefits of that. So,
like you said, it's definitely a lifestyle change. You're either all in or you're not. Because it's like I said, it's you're changing your food, you're changing your everyday like habits. You're changing you're going to the gym, however many times a week. Right. So it's definitely a whole lifestyle change.
Yeah. Tell them about your goal, like for the upcoming months.
So usually in November I usually go to West Virginia. I go hunting down there, and my goal is to be under the 300s before the end of November. So hopefully,
that's easy. He's got plenty of time. I was like trying to figure out. I'm like, nah, 30 more pounds. Like, again, we don't like to get too caught up in like the long-term things, right. But that should be pretty easy. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, like I keep telling you guys, like I'm not gonna change anything until he keeps stalling. Like I mentioned, I'm going to change a few things in his workouts, like because a huge goal of ours is to do that push-up. I want to go for a little run maybe next week or something like that. Not that I want him to do that consistently, but I want to kind of put that in his head that like, okay, this is something you can do now. Like this is something you're very capable of because of the sacrifices you've made, and that's only going to lead to more confidence, more success, and other things. So. Super excited about everything we got going on, and yeah, man, he's just making it look too easy at this point. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I mean it's just one thing from going from eating so much in a day to
just very like, you know, making a huge change in your diet. Yeah.
And exercising and stuff like that, it's definitely like a big change. And, you know, being as big of a guy as I was, you know, I'm gonna understand it's gonna come off easy at first, but I'm gonna hit a wall, and, you know, it's gonna be up to me to either push right through that wall.
Yeah. Yeah, because it will happen. I mean, like I always talk about, there's highs and lows in this weight loss journey and everything. You know, it's not a linear process, but we have so many things to change that when if he does reach a fat loss plateau, you know, I'll be able to do all these other things before, and that's why you want to just start off nice and slow and just kind of reap the benefits of those small changes, so that, you know, you don't have to get into the nitty gritty right away, and it's sustainable. You know, like he's not feeling like he's sacrificing his whole life for this weight loss thing. You know, like all these changes we made, you feel like they're pretty sustainable. Like you're able to do it every day without feeling like you're just sacrificing everything, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like he went from, you know, eating 5,000 calories to eating 1,200 calories. You know, we made small little changes and everything like that. So, oh, and another goal for him I have soon, because a lot of I seen a couple comments like you guys mentioned that, you know, this is great and all, but what is he gonna do like for the rest of his life? Because, you know, like he's doing great like under my guidance. I mean, like right now he's just basically doing everything by himself. I just kind of got him started and got him headed in the right direction. But that's a good point, because I want him to start being able to count his calories, be able to count his macros, because, you know, he's not gonna have me hanging around his whole life. It's not like he's doing all the work. Don't get me wrong, like don't get it twisted. But like I said, I kind of push him in the right direction, everything like that. So I want to be able to teach him, you know, how to count his calories, how to count his macros, so that he can, you know, go off and he can eat different things, and, you know, he can fit in different foods into his diet, so he's not having to eat the same stuff every single day. Because that's one thing that isn't sustainable about this is, you know, he's going to get sick of those foods, of eating the same thing every day. And, you know, as he loses more weight, he's not going to be able to eat as much. I mean, that's just how it works, because, you know, your body, you know, constantly adjusting. So that's a huge goal. So I definitely want to kind of do that soon. Even do a video on it, like if he has questions on like how to count his calories, like how to use MyFitnessPal, how to count the macros and stuff like that. So if that's something you guys are interested in seeing, you know, let us know. You know, we could definitely do that. But yeah, man, all good stuff. No complaints over here.
I do have one more thing. This past week, like, you guys have probably seen that I've been a little more confident in like talking on the camera and stuff like that. And, you know, you can go look at the first video and how much, like, I probably talked for like not even a minute of the whole video. And here I am, I'm basically taking over his video. Right. But I have like a big fear of public speaking, and I actually just this past week gave my first speech in that class. I was a little nervous, but I mean, I got through it, and I mean, that's definitely like that's definitely a big thing for me. And you know, I have to do a couple more speeches. I'm actually going to be doing a couple of speeches on my weight loss journey, so hopefully we can include those. I'm going to get those recorded.
Yeah, that would be
awesome.
We're
going to include those for sure.
Yeah, I mean, public speaking is, I think that's hard for anyone, but especially when you're not confident in like your physical nature in the first place, like it becomes like that much more difficult. So the fact that he's be able to recognize that, you know, it's a little bit easier this time around, I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's huge. All right, one more thing before we end this video here. Tell them about one more thing that.
All right, so, you know, I've noticed this way before we started these videos, or my weight loss journey in general. You know, I have stretch marks on my stomach. You know, I mean, I'm an overweight guy. It's gonna happen. And I've noticed that, I mean, before they used to be like beet red, and, you know, the past couple days I've been noticing, you know, they're like white. They're starting to disappear. That's a big confidence booster for me, because, you know, I would never. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've been swimming, because, you know, I'm like embarrassed of like stuff like that.
Yeah, he showed me right before, they're barely noticeable. And I can definitely relate to that too, because mine were like a lot more apparent before I lost the weight. And then they just kind of like lose that color, that brashness, that redness over time. And he showed me, I'm like, wow, man. I forgot to even like consider that. And he's been taking progress pictures every single week. So like shirtless, like front and back and side. So man, once we release those, like you guys are gonna be like, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for supporting Kyle. You guys know it means so much to us. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, the process is always greater than the prize.